Hey, Rachel here. So, Eric recently wrote a blog post about vitamin D and COVID, and I wanted to dive into it a little bit more and explain it and make it really accessible for anyone who doesn't want to read all the sciencey stuff. So, the reason vitamin D is a really hot topic right now, and everyone is being told by the media, by their doctors, by everyone that they should be taking vitamin D. And we're here to say that's probably a bad idea and you really should not be doing that. And I'm going to give you some really good reasons why. So, vitamin D deficiency is actually very rare. It's generally and typically only found in people who have things like serious autoimmune disease, terminal kidney disease, tuberculosis. So very unwell people. Those people have a typical range of around 10, and that would be indicative of other chronic conditions, and 10 is very low. So in talking about the range of vitamin D, some funny facts that you should know. 10 years ago, the normal range for vitamin D changed from 20 to 30 units to 30 to 100 units. And supplementing is the only way that you can really get your vitamin D levels above 30. It's just not natural. The body is very inclined to try and suppress that and keep that and get rid of it. So it doesn't want your vitamin D levels to be that high. Studies have shown that there's actually no benefit to it being higher, and there's actually more risk once it's over that 30. So when those levels changed, literally overnight, everyone became deficient because we said that we changed the benchmark. So to me, something smells a little fishy about that. So who changed this? So Dr. Michael Holick overnight created $1 billion industry to sell vitamin D testing and vitamin D supplements. And so here we are, 10 years later with COVID and everything, and everyone is being told to take vitamin D. They're taking all sorts of varieties of vitamin D. Most of them are terrible and crappy anyways. So there are, 24 different types of vitamin D in your body. And the thing is that we are actually only supplementing, and the supplements that you're getting at the store are only vitamin D3. So you're really actually missing out on there's all of these other pieces of vitamin D that your body uses and needs that you're not actually even getting when you're supplementing with vitamin D anyways. So vitamin D also, another reason to not take vitamin D, it's a steroid and a hormone. It opens calcium channels in the body, which increases excess calcium and causes chronic respiratory infections. COVID, anyone? Long-term COVID, anyone? So viruses use the calcium to manipulate the cells and cause them to be more hospitable to virus reproduction, while at the same time suppressing your immune function that actually fights the infection. So you're not actually getting any benefit from it. And also, it suppresses inflammation, which has short-term benefits, but in the long term has a lot of negative consequences. So there's really no research out there that shows that vitamin D supplementation is good for people who don't have extremely low vitamin D levels. Like I said, under 10, in the 10 range. So there's very few people who are not extremely ill that don't need that should be taking this. So all of the studies that the media and even the doctors have been citing that says vitamin D is wonderful, it's great, everyone needs to be taking vitamin D, are actually all just referencing those studies of people with illness that's causing them to have vitamin D levels below 10. And the average person who is generally well and not terminally ill does not have vitamin D levels that low. So that being said, it's probably a good idea to stop taking it because there are actual negative effects that you can have from vitamin D from taking something that is a steroid and a hormone long term that you don't want unless you get really ill. So, if you're interested in diving deeper or knowing more about vitamin D, check out the blog post or reach out to us and schedule a call.